What's up, guys? It's time to rank all of the new units in the new Anime Last Stand QOL update. So let's go over the official tier list, but first we're going to cover all of the new units. Oh, I like all those breeches, man. That looks dope. All right, here we go. Can I claim these now? Nope. Okay. All right, let's get it. Also, before we do, guys, we're on the road to 1 million subscribers. We gained some subscribers finally. I know we've been stuck for a little bit. We will get a lot farther once some of the new games drop this summer. All right, here we go. Let's start off with the Ichigo buff. This is one of the main buffs of the update. Basically, they turn him into a nice progressive unit. And the thing about him is he self-buffs and you barely need to upgrade them all. And they also just generally increase his damage, making him an overall much better unit. All right, next up we have Bulma. All right, Bulma, she is honestly very good. She actually gives the same amount of money as Yojin does. I believe she is slightly more expensive to place. Let me verify that real quick. I believe I should have slightly more expensive to place. Oh, actually, oh yeah, slightly more expensive to place, but gives a lot more money off rip. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit more expensive to place, but she does also have some later upgrades that give her a very OP abilities, so that she can also turn into a buff unit, which is very, very nice. So overall, guys, she is up there as one of the best units. For farm units, of course, up there with Idol, and honestly, the current meta is to double stack Idol with Bulma for maximum coinage. All right, next we have Tengan Evo. He gets Bleed as his passive, Bolt, and Weaken, and just overall great full AoE DPS. Even his Unevo form is actually very good. So if you're a new to pro player, getting his Unevo is actually a goated strategy. So Tengan, very, very good. Full AoE beast, great light unit. All right, so Kefla is pretty cool. It looks like a celestial, but it's actually an ultimate. So you place it down. I believe it placed down 2 units or whatever. Kefla. So she turns into Super Kefla. Pretty sweet. And honestly does some insane damage. You guys can see it buffs itself with the activation. And just overall, her damage gets pretty freaking crazy. She gets well over 1 billion damage at max. All right. Honestly, very freaking crazy cracked, especially with the abilities. So overall, she's a really good circle AoE damaging unit. And she actually has pure damage as well and hybrid, which is quite a good combo. So overall, she's just a really, really good DPS. All right, so Shisui has some pretty cool damage as well as this cool effect right here. And the nice thing about him is he has so many cool little passives. He basically is a time rewinder. He does a lot of stuff. You guys can kind of see how crazy his passives are. So overall, he's definitely probably one of the better units of this update. His damage goes absolutely freaking insane. Let me see if he, yeah, basically just really crazy damage. Starts off as burn, gets even better. And his AoE is also pretty decent as well. He has that line AoE. So very overall a strong unit with some cool abilities, making him decent for support as well as DPS. And another great thing about him is he's very cheap to place. So that also gives him a lot of potential in progressive modes, especially considering he is a nature unit. All right, so Feitan is a nice sunburn unit and fire. Now the problem I have with Feitan is we already have units like this, like Escanor. So I would say if you're grinding, he's not the best to grind. I believe he's actually the capsule unit though. But yeah, full AoE, basically a very similar type. But the other thing that's cool about it is you can actually get bleed instead, which is kind of cool. So low-key, he actually still has a nice combo effect with Escanor and Sanji. So overall, a really nice unit for burning, especially considering he's definitely one of the better capsule units. So overall, a pretty solid unit, guys. So let's go hop on over the tier list. And this is the official tier list. So shout out to the dev team and shout out to the official creator for ALS, Otaku Gaming. I wish they would give us a sandbox, man, to test the units like he has, but hopefully we'll get something like that soon. That'd be really nice for all the content creators. All right, here we go, guys. The godly tier list we covered earlier. If you guys want to know, I basically just said Ichigo moves up a bunch in pretty much all of them. The thing is, his ability makes you cancel type disadvantages, which is pretty nice. So overall, as far as the godly tier list goes, basically just Ichigo moved up. That kind of summarizes that. All right, as far as new units to go, I kind of commented on this a little bit. So Shisui is the best for dang near all of them, except for infinite mode, where Kefla has the edge. But the overall Shisui gets the edge because he is a little bit better in progressive modes, and he's also has some nice support capabilities. Tengan is also very good considering how easy it is to get, and if you can Evo him, he's going to get some extra nice damage. Bulma, I don't know, she has some crazy money, but if you already have Idol, she's not insanely crazy. It's hard for me to recommend her over Idol. I can honestly only recommend you using both of her, but she does have some nice abilities and overall is pretty decent. Feitan, like I commented down below before, he's a very good combo with the other fire units like Escanor and Sanji Max Evo. So very nice overall. Yeah, Kefla very, very strong as well. All right, so let's go move on to the general tier list. So not really a whole lot of changes. The main thing over here is the changes is farm units. So Bulma is now the second best farm. I always recommend you use her because 20% extra damage on all of your units is freaking OP and basically worth the slot. So if you're using a progressive mode, you really want to consider her, especially if it's more than 15 waves. All right, as far as nature goes, Shisui is now up there as one of the top ones, as well as Super Kefla. Very strong nature units, just slightly below the godlies. And I think this is the other infernal Evo. So very, very strong. All right, no new nukes. We're not going to go over that. Water units, no new water units this update. Fire units, Feitan should be in there. I'm not sure why Feitan is not in there, to be honest. He definitely should be in there. I do like Feitan a lot. But for some reason, the official tier list people forgot to put Feitan in the fire list. Or maybe I'm missing him, but yeah, Feitan should definitely be up there. Very good combo with Escanor and Sanji, these two right there. All right, light units. It looks like Tengan barely made it on the charts. I actually like Tengan a lot. He has potentially 3 status effects, which I think is very OP. All right, dark units. No new dark units this update. Farm units, we covered that. Support units. I'm surprised Shisui is not on the support unit list. I really like Shisui for support with the rewind. It's pretty cool. Overall list, let's see if anybody made it. Shisui made it on, nice. And of course, Kefla's made it on as well. So those two are very, very good for you guys to be grinding for this update. That's the infinite mode progressive tier list. Ichigo, again, guys, very good because of his starting price. Early game, guys, Ichigo is officially, according to the official tier list, the new GOAT for starting off. Very nice. Shisui also sneaked on the list, but Kefla did not. All right. So Yuno is the best for progressive modes. Very good with his final Evo. Shisui, I showed you before with his 800 price. Very good nature unit. And Kefla, obviously, with her DPS, very, very strong. All right, money units wise, somehow Bulma made it low on the list. Now, I'm going to be honest, guys. Bulma is very good, and I'm going to say better than Nico Robin if you are doing a double money strat and if there's more than 15 waves. She is worthless if there's not more than 15 waves. Honestly, she works times pretty much perfectly if you double stack her with idle with about 20 waves. So any mode 20 waves or more, I definitely recommend you do Bulma idle stack. That's very OP. All right. So let's see if there's any other lists for us to go check out. No, there is not. So again, big shout out to the whole tier list team. If you guys have any comments on their thing, you guys can contact them or post it down below in the comments and I will get back to them. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, comment down below what you want them to make the next update. I think they talked about a JoJo update or something. I'm trying to remember, but I'm very excited. And remember, guys, I have so much Robux to give away. We're just trying to hit 1 million, baby. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.